We all recognize, the circumstances of the world that we're living in, and people are experiencing all kinds of different traumas. But one thing that has kept me going, no matter how challenging these cases are, is the response to using art therapy.
Ladies, hello.
Hello, how are you?
I'm well. How are you both?
Wow.
Doing very good.
Yeah.
Good. Good. So I'm so excited that we get the chance to talk today about art therapy and the wonderful things that you both are doing. And so can you say a little bit about that work and what is inspiring for you?
What comes to mind is a case that I currently have with a young girl who is now 5, but at the age of 3, she was playing on a balcony and a stray bullet, she's living in a community where there's community violence, and she was shot in the leg. And her response to that trauma was to stop talking to anyone but immediate family. And unfortunately, she didn't come to our clinic for services until 2 years later, but at that point she was still not talking to anyone except immediate family. The good news is, over time, I was working with her and her family using art making, using family art evaluation to get the family engaged once again so that they could understand how I could use art therapy to address her concerns, to develop the treatment plan and so forth and so on. Went to her school, met with her teachers to look at how they were interacting with her. And because of her age and her interest in drawing, despite the fact that she did not talk to me in the beginning, she responded to art making. And I met her where she was and allowed her to draw whatever she wanted to do. She eventually, at the beginning of this school year, transformed into this typical youngster who talks to her teachers, went back to the previous teacher, talked to her. Now, again, I'm like, what did I do? Other than allow her to kind of tell her story along with the family. I used some art making activities to even engage the family in what that whole experience was like for them, and to go kind of step by step through a series of drawings to tell their story.
Telling without talking.
Telling
I think
without
Cohen
talking,
and Cox has
yeah.
said. That's so inspiring. And it's wonderful to see results with people that you work with. And
Exactly.
Thank you. How about you, Gretchen?
Yeah, the telling without talking part is very significant. That totally sticks out in my mind. Safety is a huge, just establishing sort of that safe kind of place through the art and sort of containing sort of that is so hugely important. I've worked with a lot of youth and women survivors of domestic violence, and the talking without telling piece, the art can serve sort of as a visual voice kind of for being able to express feelings and experiences, especially in situations maybe you've been threatened not to talk, not to use the words, so you can use the art in a little less sort of threatening way to express yourself, and then also tapping into parts of the brain that don't necessarily, the cognitive kind of part might be hard, that talking, but the art, the sensory-based part really helps bring that sort of out.
And the other piece that I would just add in is that we do it in such a way that not only are we meeting people where they are, but we're trying to make sure that we're using the art so that they feel their particular lens is reflected and respected. So no matter what their cultural, racial, ethnic background is, but that they can see that art can be a vehicle for them to explore whatever the presenting concerns are.
Again, helping reestablish and restoring safety, and then also kind of restoring hope as well. I really try to come from a strength-based kind of approach with the trauma stuff that I do with the clients that I work with, and really trying to view the trauma as an experience that's happened to you, not necessarily something that's wrong with you, and managing that. So I feel the art interventions and the materials, or what I do in the session with clients, is helping bring out those coping, but also like strengths to kind of help them build like that resiliency related to managing what's happened.
I think we can rest assured that there will always be a need for art and need to use art and the art making process as a way to stay connected with one another.
Absolutely.
And to communicate.